Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. My name is Bethany and today I'm going to tell you about all the books I want to read in April. So I completely didn't film TBRs for February or March for no reason. I still made the TBRs, but I've noticed that my TBRs have been getting longer and longer, but that is because I've been reading more and more books every month, which I didn't know was possible. Like I thought that 35 had to be the peak, like it had to be. It is not even the end of March yet and I've read 39 books. So I do have a bunch of books that I either don't have my hands on yet or it's just like an ebook that I'm going to talk about first so I don't forget. So the first one is Threads of Magic by Alison Krogen. This is a middle grade, I think it's a standalone, and I have no recollection of what it's about. I just know that Alison Krogen wrote the Songs of Pelennor series, which I absolutely love and I think is so underrated. So I had to pre-order this. It sounds good from what I can remember, and I've been really loving middle grade lately. Like I found a lot of awesome new books that I love, so I'm trying to make sure I read middle grade every month, and what better way to do it? Another pre-order is Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne. So on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, this is an adult romance. I liked The Hating Game a lot. I hated her other book, 99% Mine. Ha, hated. It was literal trash. So I'm very nervous but optimistic about this one. Again, can't remember the plot. I truly just, I skimmed the plot and then I hit pre-order, sure, okay, and then it just disappears from my mind. So, I don't know. One that I have on my e-reader right now is Gilded Serpent by Danielle Jensen. This is the third book in her Dark Shores series, which, oh my god, this series is so slept on. So I have Dark Shores and Dark Skies, and the prequel novel as well is called Tarnished Empire, and I got a fake rate edition of that. And I cannot recommend them more. They're very reminiscent of Sarah J. Maas, but with Game of Thrones vibes. So there's truly excellent romance and spice, but even the battle scenes are so gripping to me. And normally I just skim those, if I'm being honest. There's pirates, there's an ancient Roman inspired world, so it also reminds me of An Ember in the Ashes. But they're so good. I've also ordered her next, well, we'll talk about that later actually. So this one I have an e-arc of, I think it comes out near the end of April, so I want to read it pretty early on so that I can review it before it is released, and also because I need to find out what's happening. I did think that this was the last book in the trilogy. Turns out it is a quartet, so I'm not going to get any resolution, but that's fine. I can wait. I think the other e-arc that I have right now is These Feathered Flames by Alexandra Overy. I meant to read that this month because it comes out in April, obviously, but I was reading so many Russian-inspired fantasy books in a row that I was like, I can't do another one because they're just starting to blend together in my mind. This, I think, is a queer retelling of The Firebird, which sounds like exactly what I want. So I'm really looking forward to it. I have been struggling with ebooks a lot. I used to read them a ton. I just find that I retain them even less than I retain physical books. So I'm working on that. But yeah, definitely loving having arcs, and I can't wait to review both of these. I have two books on here that I know are coming in April book boxes, and I really like to read them before I get the special edition if I can, just so that I can appreciate it more, you know? So Illumicrate is doing, what is it called? In the Ravenous Dark by A.M. Strickland. All I remember about this one is pansexual blood mage. Sold. So I can't wait to see what Illumicrate does with it, but I want to read it. I can't remember when this come out. Again, I'm the worst. But if I can get my hands on it before the Illumicrate edition comes, I will try to pick that up. I also have Witches Steeped in Gold by Shannon Smart. I think Owlcrate and Fairy Loot are both doing this one. I've been skipping Owlcrate the last couple months, so I'm not getting their edition, but I am getting Fairy Loot's. And I think they have a lot of exciting things planned for it. So this one is Jamaican-inspired fantasy, which is, what more do I need? Okay, the last one that I don't have with me here is Kronoff, Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So the third book in the From Blood and Ash series. I think I'm going to get the ebook and hope that I can read it properly. It's not like I really care if I retain anything from these books, to be honest, because I'm there for the romance. But yeah, I sold my paperback editions of From Blood and Ash, and I ordered the Fairy Loot ones. So obviously we're not going to get those right when the actual book releases. But I will definitely be reading Crown of Gilded Bones ASAP, or I will get spoiled on TikTok, and we can't have that. Okay, let's get into the actual books. So this one is really random, but I have Graceling by Kristen Kishore. I just want to read these. I definitely read them when I was a kid. I have the newest one, Winterkeep, but I haven't read it yet because I need to remember anything about them. And I just think these new covers are so beautiful. I have them all in the old hardcovers, which are nostalgic. I kind of want these just because they're so pretty, but I was like, okay, I need to reread Graceling before I buy the rest of them to make sure that I actually want them, you know? So I think that's very responsible of me. But this is set in a fantasy world where people are born with like an extreme skill, and hers is killing. I love a good female assassin, and these are just such a classic fantasy. They remind me of Tamora Pierce a little bit, if I'm remembering correctly. So yeah, looking forward to this one for sure. I also find it harder to select books that are like thematic for spring than any of the other seasons, but this one I think fits the bill. It is Wild Beauty by Anna Maria Mcamore, and let me remember what it's about. Set on like a garden estate, people, secrets, magic, love, loss, and family. The cover's got flowers on it, and hence spring-like. I've never read anything from Anna Maria Mcamore, but I've heard that their writing is pretty lyrical, which I tend to love. So I wanted to start here because it seems seasonal, but I have a couple of their other books too that I would like to pick up eventually. I always like to throw in a historical fiction, so this month I've got They Went Left from Monica Hesse. This has been on my shelf for a couple months, and it is a, classic, depressing World War II concentration camp read. Yay! All jokes aside, I love reading very emotionally impactful and powerful World War II stories, and I've really loved a lot of Monica Hesse's writing, so I can't wait to get into this one, although it's going to crush my soul. It is about Zofia. I think the main characters are also Polish, and my boyfriend is Polish and his whole family, so I'm trying to learn more about Polish culture, so this one might help with that, we'll see. A couple of recent releases I have on here too, like things that I pre-ordered and then didn't read, so I'm like, okay, read them. The first one is Sing Me Forgotten by Jessica Olsen. This is only like 300 pages, so I could read this in a sitting for sure. It is a gender-bent Phantom of the Opera retelling, and I've heard it's really sad, so I can't wait. I love Phantom of the Opera, so I'm really excited for this one, and now that I know it's like 300 pages, I'm just gonna whip through this. Mixing in some adult books to get wild and crazy, I have The Witch's Heart by Genevieve Gornicek. This is an adult fantasy about Angrboda. I think it's like a Norse mythology fantasy. So I've been loving the mythological fantasies, especially like The Bear and the Nightingale, Spinning Silver, etc. So I think this one is going to be a really good addition to my collection. And again, it's not too long, so yeah. I'm also reading Throne of Glass again because I love myself. So I read Throne of Glass this month, and next month is obviously Crown of Midnight. I know that once I get through these books, I'm gonna like want to binge the rest of them, but this is my least favorite in the series for sure. So we'll see how long it takes me. I annotated the first one and had a really good time doing it, so I'm for sure gonna do that here as well. I read these before all on my e-reader, like just whipping through them. So it's nice to actually like read them slowly and digest everything. Obviously, I know the plot. I've read these like 6 times, but they are precious. And these are my new desk jackets. Aren't they cool? Except we hate that Kale gets his own cover. All month, I have been wanting to read Illuminae for some reason, and I just am trying to finish series before I pick up new ones. So I told myself I couldn't read it this month, but in April, we're doing it. This is Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I haven't read any of their books, so this is where I'm starting. Don't know why. I just think that this is so cool. Tell me that's not the coolest thing you've ever seen. This is an alien apocalypse book, I think, but it's told in mixed media. I've heard nothing but perfect things, so I just know that I'm going to really love this, and we'll see if I read the rest of the series this month. Maybe, maybe not. There is one other thing that's like conditional on this TBR. I think it's the 28th right now, maybe the 29th, and I have City of Brass on my TBR for this month, so I'm hoping to start City of Brass today and ideally finish it by the end of the month. So if I do, I want to read Kingdom of Copper, which is the second book in the David Bad trilogy. For reference, City of Brass. But if I don't, because it is pretty chunky, then I will just finish this one in April. 2 shorter reads I have on here are Lives of Saints and the Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo. I'm going to save these and read them like right around when the Shadow and Bone series premieres. Obviously these are like fairy tale collections. Well, this is a fairy tale collection. This is like an actual book from the Grishaverse, but they're set in the Grishaverse. So they're going to be very thematic to read around the show. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I also have this beautiful Illumicrate edition of this one. So this is Alina and this is the Darkling, and I love it. So yeah, these are like literally short stories, so they're not going to take me very long, but looking forward to them. I also really want to read Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I think this is set in a magical library, so we love that. I loved An Enchantment of Ravens, but that one was really short, so I've been putting off picking this one up because it's like 450 pages long, but that's really not that long. I'm just being dramatic. I don't know why I specifically want to read this month, but it called to me from the shelf, so. Okay, so remember when I was talking about Danielle L. Jensen earlier with The Dark Shores? I finished the first book and immediately ordered The Bridge Kingdom. This is more of like a new adult/adult fantasy, which makes me even more excited about it. I've heard that the main character is awesome, the world is cool, I know nothing about the plot. Enemies to lovers, great. We're sold. This, I think, it came out tomorrow? I don't know. This comes out at some point soon, but my pre-order arrived early, so I have it. And that is The Infinity Quartz by Kemi Bowman. Love this cover. This is about like someone who dies. She gets murdered and she's in a place called Infinity, which is where human consciousness goes when you die. So it's like kind of sci-fi, but with like some fantastical elements, I think. I've heard good things about Kemi Bowman, but I've never read anything by her, or them, I'm not sure. So we're going to start here and see what I think. It is kind of longer than I expected. But look at the cover. I have to. On the vein of continuing series, I will be reading The Son of Neptune by Riordan. I did like The Lost Hero, which is the first book in the Heroes of Olympus series. It just didn't like grab me. I don't know. I really like middle grade, but Riordan's is not like my favorite middle grade ever. But I've heard that these just get better as the series go on, and I do want to read them for sure. They're just so long for children. Like, it's 500 pages. But yeah, everyone knows what these are. Last two books here. So the first one is The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. I keep thinking that this is a fantasy book because of the cover, but it's apparently historical fiction. And it's got like dual timelines, which I absolutely love. There's a mystery. I just think it's like made for me. And it's only 300 pages. We love to see it. So I, again, might pick this up early in the month. I really like reading like the shorter books off my TBR right at the beginning, because then I feel very accomplished and I can feel better about going into the bigger books. I don't know why I'm like this. I'm also reading my way through the Lux series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I read the Opal, which is the third book last month, so I'd like to read the fourth one this month. They're just in the same collection here. These are so fun. It's like a paranormal, it's like a Twilight knockoff basically, but I'm here for it. And they're like genuinely getting really good, so I'm happy about that, and we'll be finishing it up. So yeah, those are all the books that I'm planning to read. I am interested to see how many I read next month. I feel like at the rate that my reading is accelerating, like there has to be a plateau at some point. It can't go on like this forever. But while I'm working part-time, I may as well embrace it. So let me know if you've read any of these, and if there are any of them that you would recommend I read like early in the month to make sure I get them in. And I'd love to know what you're planning to read in April. Hope you're having a great day. Bye!